Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by the noise around you, the constant flow of opinions, expectations, and the relentless pressure to keep up? Imagine that these ancient Stoic philosophers from over 2,000 years ago faced the same human emotions, struggles, and questions about identity and purpose that we encounter today. Fascinating, isn't it? The wisdom of centuries past still holds profound relevance in our fast-paced modern world. Today, we dive deep into the Stoic lifestyle, uncovering timeless truths that can help us navigate the chaos of the 21st century with grace, resilience, and deep inner peace. Whether you're struggling with stress, seeking meaning, or simply curious about a philosophical approach to life that has stood the test of time, you're in the right place. Together, we will explore how Stoicism is not just a set of ideas but a practical guide for living more authentically and serenely. If you're eager to embark on this journey of self-discovery and timeless wisdom with us, hit the subscription button and remember that every part of this video was crafted with you in mind. Don't skip any section. Every moment is a step towards greater Stoic resilience. Number 1, you care less about the opinions of others. Isn't it curious how we all, at some point in our lives, find ourselves entangled in the web of others' opinions? We often sacrifice our peace of mind and happiness trying to fit into the molds others create for us. But let's pause for a moment and delve into ancient Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the futility of seeking external approval and urges us to question this innate desire to please others, challenging us to break free from the chains of external validation. It's a liberating thought, isn't it? Realizing that the only approval you truly need is your own. Now, think about it. When you lay your head on the pillow at night, your thoughts are not with others, so why not make those thoughts about your true self, your values, and your actions? Imagine the freedom of being unapologetically yourself. You're not swayed by fleeting opinions or the latest trends. But how do we begin to care less about the opinions of others? It starts with understanding and reaffirming your values, what you stand for, what matters most to you. When your actions align with your beliefs, there is a deep sense of peace and authenticity that no amount of external approval can match. Additionally, embracing your uniqueness attracts the right kind of people into your life, those who appreciate you for who you truly are, not for what they want you to be. It's about quality, not quantity. Having a few meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and understanding is infinitely more satisfying than chasing the fleeting approval of the masses. It's crucial to remember that people's opinions are just that, opinions. They are subjective variables and often reflect more about the person expressing them than about you. As Marcus Aurelius wisely points out, the only constant and true validation comes from within, from living a life aligned with your values and principles. Number 2, be honest. When we talk about being honest, it's easy to fall into the idea of not lying to others, but Stoicism invites us to explore honesty on a much deeper level. It's about aligning our outward actions and words with our inner values and beliefs. This alignment fosters a profound sense of integrity and wholeness. Imagine the peace that comes from knowing your actions aren't just superficial performances but true reflections of your inner being. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, really drives this point home. He suggests that honesty not only makes moral sense, but it also makes practical sense. Think about it. Deception requires us to remember our lies, cover our tracks, and live with the constant fear of being found out. It's mentally exhausting. Honesty, on the other hand, is simple and liberating. It frees us from the tangled web of deceit and allows us to live with ease and clarity. But here's the real kicker. Honesty affects not only our relationships with others but also with ourselves. When we are honest with ourselves about our strengths, our flaws, our desires, we pave the way for genuine growth and self-acceptance. It's like clearing the clutter in our minds to make space for more peace, more understanding, and more authentic connections with those around us. And yet, embracing honesty isn't always easy. It requires courage and vulnerability. Sometimes it means admitting we were wrong, facing our mistakes, and dealing with the consequences of our actions. But the reward, the trust, the respect, and a clear conscience is well worth it. So, how can we cultivate this virtue in our daily lives? Start with small steps. Practice transparency in your interactions. Reflect on your day and recognize moments when you might not have been entirely honest. Ask yourself why and how you can improve. Remember that it's a journey, and every step toward honesty is a step toward a more serene and meaningful life. Number 3, don't take things personally. We've all felt that immediate reaction when someone's words or actions seem to hit us right where it hurts. Seneca, with his deep understanding of human nature, reminds us to look beyond the surface. He suggests that when someone acts in a way that seems hurtful or offensive to us, it often has nothing to do with us at all. People act based on their perceptions, their struggles, and their history. It's as if everyone is moving through the world wearing a unique pair of glasses that color the way they see everything around them, including us. Think about a time when you might have snapped at someone or acted in a way that wasn't really you. Chances are you were dealing with something completely different: stress, fear, insecurity, or maybe you were just having a really bad day. Now, if we can recognize this in ourselves, why not extend that same understanding to others? This shift in perspective that Seneca advocates is about empathy, but it's also about self-preservation. When we stop taking things personally, we detach from the unnecessary pain that comes with believing everyone's actions are about us. It's like putting down a heavy load we've been carrying. Suddenly, we can breathe, move, and live more freely. But how do we actually do this? How do we stop taking things personally, especially when our emotions are already triggered? Start with a pause. When you feel that rush of pain or anger, just pause, take a breath. Remember Seneca's words, "This may not be about me at all." This simple act of pausing can prevent a reactive spiral and give you space to choose a more reasoned response. It's also about building resilience and understanding. If we remind ourselves that we don't have a full picture of what the other person is going through, we're less likely to be hurt by their actions or words. And when we do get hurt, because it will happen, we can treat it as practice ground for our Stoic principles. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? By adopting this Stoic approach, we not only protect our peace of mind but also open ourselves to more compassionate and meaningful interactions. We become less reactive, more understanding, and in a way, more connected to the humanity in everyone we meet. Number 4, be patient. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about patience. He saw it not just as passive waiting but as an active engagement with the present moment, whatever it may bring. Being patient was like donning armor against life's trials, transforming potential irritants into lessons in endurance and calm. Think about it. When you're stuck in traffic, there's a kind of freedom in accepting that you can't move faster than the cars ahead of you. It's an opportunity to listen to your favorite music, an audiobook, or just your own thoughts. This shift doesn't change the traffic, but it changes how you experience it, turning a frustrating wait into a moment of peace or even enjoyment. Similarly, when dealing with a challenging person, imagine if instead of reacting with irritation or anger, you responded with patience. You give yourself a moment to understand where they're coming from and recognize that their behavior has more to do with their own struggles than with anything else. This doesn't mean accepting bad behavior, but responding with composure and consideration, which often diffuses tension and leads to better outcomes for everyone involved. Patience in the Stoic sense is about embracing the moment rather than fighting against it. It's about seeing the delay, the annoyance, or the obstacle as part of the path, not as a detour from it. Every moment of impatience is an opportunity to practice, to deepen your understanding of Stoicism, and to cultivate a serene mind. But how can we cultivate this patience in our daily lives? Start with awareness. Recognize when impatience starts to bubble up inside you. Then, pause, take a deep breath, and remember Marcus Aurelius and many others who have faced much greater trials with patience and dignity. Another practical step is adjusting your expectations. Often, our impatience comes from things not going according to our plan. But if we accept that we don't control everything, only our response to things, we can set more realistic expectations and find peace in how life unfolds, whatever happens. Consider each test of patience as an opportunity, not an obstacle, like a muscle that strengthens through exercise. Your capacity for patience grows every time you choose it over frustration or anger. And the rewards are immense. A calmer mind, less stress, and a reputation as someone serene and thoughtful even in challenging situations. Number 5, be an example. Epictetus knew a thing or two about adversity and integrity. He didn't just lecture about Stoicism in the classroom. He lived it every day and encouraged his students to do the same, to embody their philosophy. It's about making your life a testimony to your values, letting your actions speak louder than your words. Imagine the ripple effect you can create simply by living your principles. When you show kindness even in challenging situations, others notice. It can inspire them to act with kindness in turn. When you demonstrate integrity, refusing to compromise your values, you set a standard for those around you. And when you face adversity with resilience, maintaining a calm and composed demeanor, you can be a beacon of hope for others who are struggling. But how do we actually do this? How do we become an example for others? Start with self-reflection. Take a moment to consider the values that are truly important to you. What principles do you want to guide your life? Once you have clarity, strive to align your actions with those values. It's about making conscious decisions every day that reflect who you are and what you stand for. Of course, no one is perfect. We all have our moments of weakness, our lapses in judgment. But being an example isn't about perfection. It's about striving to make a genuine effort to live according to your ideals, even when it's difficult. And when you make a mistake, it's about owning it, learning from it, and moving forward with greater resolve. Another key aspect of being an example is consistency. It's not just about doing the right thing when it's easy or when people are watching. It's about being consistent with your values, whether you're in the spotlight or alone. This consistency builds trust and respect, and it's what truly sets an example for others. Let's draw inspiration from Epictetus and strive to be living embodiments of our philosophy. Whether it's kindness, integrity, resilience, or any other virtue, let's bring it to life in our actions. Remember that you have the power to inspire, influence, and create a positive impact on the world around you. Be the change you wish to see and watch how your example can light the way for others. Number 6, disconnect from the haters. It seems like everywhere we turn, on social media, even in our daily interactions, there's a barrage of negative criticism and yes, haters. They can be exhausting, but they don't have to dictate your happiness. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about maintaining inner peace amidst external turmoil. He spoke of the inner citadel, a fortress within you that no external negativity can breach unless you allow it. This concept is incredibly empowering. Think about it. You have the power to create and maintain a space of peace and calm within you, no matter what storms rage outside. So, how do we disconnect from the haters and keep our inner citadel secure? First and foremost, it's about recognizing what is and isn't within our control. We can't control what others say or do, the harsh comments they leave, or the nasty rumors they spread, but we can control our response. We can choose not to engage, not to internalize their negativity, and not to let it disrupt our peace. Another key Stoic strategy is to reflect on the intention behind the negativity. Often, those who attack are struggling with their own issues, insecurities, or pain. Understanding this doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help us respond with compassion rather than defensiveness or anger. It allows us to see their negativity as their burden, not ours. Practicing mindfulness is also a powerful tool for keeping our inner citadel intact. Breathe. Remember that this moment of negativity is just that, a moment, and it will pass. You don't have to let it define your day or your mood. By staying present and connected, you can keep your inner peace intact. It's also helpful to surround yourself with positivity. Engage with uplifting content, connect with supportive people, and fill your environment with things that bring you joy and peace. Remember, you have the power to curate your own life experience. Choose positivity and let negativity slide off. Remember that disconnecting from the haters isn't about building walls or becoming indifferent. It's about choosing where to focus your energy and attention. It's about preserving your inner peace and strength so you can face challenges with grace and resilience. Number 7, be full of love. Stoicism might seem all about rationality, but there's also a big place for love. Seneca tells us that love isn't just something you feel, it's something you do. It's a vibrant, active energy you send out into the world, and it has this beautiful boomerang effect. The more love you give, the more you find it coming back to you, often from the most unexpected places. But what does it mean to be full of love in a Stoic sense? It's about approaching every interaction with every person with goodwill and benevolence, genuinely wishing for their happiness and well-being, regardless of how they feel about you. This isn't always easy, especially when you're faced with negativity or hostility, but it's a powerful stance that can transform not only your own life but also the lives of those around you. Being full of love also means practicing forgiveness and understanding that everyone we meet is fighting their own battle, carrying their own burdens. By choosing love and compassion, we lighten their load and our own. We connect on a deeper level, recognizing our shared humanity. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us that love extends beyond our relationships with people. It's about cultivating a loving relationship with life itself, embracing all its twists and turns with open arms. It's finding joy in simple things, appreciating the beauty around us, and engaging with the world in a positive and meaningful way. How can we cultivate this stoic, loving approach to life? Start small. Offer a kind word to a stranger. Show appreciation to your loved ones. Practice gratitude daily. Reflect on your actions and intentions. Ask yourself if they are rooted in love and kindness. And when you encounter negativity or cruelty, try to respond with understanding and compassion. Remember that being full of love isn't about being naive or ignoring the harsh realities of the world. It's about choosing to respond to those realities with love rather than fear or anger. It's a brave and powerful choice that can lead to true fulfillment and connection. Number 8, stop comparing yourself to others. How often do we find ourselves scrolling through social media, looking at someone else's highlight reel, and feeling like we just don't measure up? But here's a stoic antidote to this widespread problem. Focus on your own path, your own growth, and your own achievements. The Stoics, with their deep wisdom, teach us that the only comparison worth making is with who we were yesterday, not with someone else today. This idea is so liberating when you really think about it. Imagine freeing yourself from the endless cycle of looking over your shoulder, worrying about what others are doing, and feeling inadequate. The Stoics offer us a different perspective. Your journey is yours alone, rich with its own challenges, triumphs, and lessons. By embracing this, you honor your unique path and cultivate a sense of self-worth that doesn't depend on external validation. But how do we put this into practice, especially in a world that constantly urges us to compare and compete? First, it's about being mindful when we make these comparisons. Notice that pang of envy or doubt when you see someone else's success or happiness. Acknowledge it and then gently remind yourself, my path is different, and that's okay. Next, actively celebrate your own achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Did you tackle a tough task at work? Did you show kindness to a stranger? Did you take time to care for yourself? These are all victories worth acknowledging. By celebrating your own progress, you reinforce the idea that your journey is valid and valuable. Another powerful Stoic practice is reflecting on your personal growth. Take the time to look back. Where were you a year ago? 5 years ago? A decade ago? Acknowledge the progress you've made, the obstacles you've overcome, and the lessons you've learned. This reflection not only boosts your self-esteem but also deepens your appreciation for your unique journey. And remember, the Stoics didn't just talk about personal achievements in terms of professional success or material gain. They valued wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. So when you measure your progress, consider these deeper and more meaningful markers of growth. Are you more patient than you used to be? More compassionate? More resilient? These are the kinds of achievements that truly reflect your growth as a person. Number 9, value your loved ones. In the whirlwind of our daily lives, it's so easy to get caught up in the minutiae, the endless to-do lists, and the relentless pursuit of our personal goals. But Stoicism, with its profound understanding of the human condition, reminds us of what is genuinely important, the connections we share with the people we love. Stoicism might seem all about self-discipline and resilience, but at its core, it's deeply concerned with community and relationships. The Stoics understood that our time on this earth is fleeting, that every moment we have with our loved ones is precious, and that it should not be taken for granted. They encourage us to live in the present, to appreciate the here and now, and to value the people who add meaning and joy to our lives. But how do we put this into practice, especially when life gets busy and we get distracted? Start with mindfulness. Make a conscious effort to be present when you're with your loved ones. This means really listening when they speak, fully engaging with them, and showing through your actions that you care. Expressing gratitude is another key aspect. It's about letting our loved ones know that we appreciate them, not just in grand gestures, but also in the small, everyday moments that truly define our relationships. A simple thank you, a note of appreciation, or a kind word can mean so much. It acknowledges the other person's value and the contribution they make to our lives. And then there's the expression of love, which can be shown in countless ways, tailored to the individual and the relationship. It might be spending quality time together, offering support during tough times, or sharing joys and successes. Love, in the Stoic sense, is active and engaged. It's about being there for people in the important moments. Making time for our loved ones is perhaps the most crucial part of our busy lives. It's so easy to let relationships slide, to assume that people will always be there. But the Stoic reminder of life's impermanence urges us to prioritize our relationships, to find time for those who matter most, even when it seems like there are a million other things demanding our attention. Valuing our loved ones is about recognizing the irreplaceable role they play in our lives and honoring that with our time, our attention, and our affection. It's about building and nurturing those bonds, knowing they are the true source of wealth and meaning in our lives. Remember that the journey of life is one we share with those we love. Cherish every moment, seize every opportunity to show love, and never underestimate the power of presence. Thank you for joining us today. Your journey towards wisdom and inner peace is one we are honored to be a part of. Don't forget to watch one of the suggested videos on your screen to continue exploring the profound insights of Stoicism. Let's cultivate a life of virtue, resilience, and deep connection together. Thank you for being here, for being part of this journey, and for embracing the wisdom of Stoicism in your life. As we close this chapter of our journey together, remember that the wisdom of the Stoics is not just ancient text. It's a living guide for navigating the complexities of modern life. By embracing their teachings, you embrace a path of growth, resilience, and deep inner peace. Thank you for accompanying us today, for taking this step towards a more mindful and meaningful existence. Your presence and commitment here are what make this journey so enriching and valuable.